Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. Let's get started with our hosts, Linda McKissick and Dana Gentry.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. I'm Linda McKissick.
And I'm Dana Gentry.
Hey, Dana, where are you in the world?
I'm in Kentucky.
Oh, still? You've been there a while.
Yeah, because I'm moving this weekend. So I've been like working during the day, packing at night. My movers are coming on Sunday. But I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, but I found a piece of land in Richmond that I think I'm going to build on.
Oh,
so
that's
I'm
cool.
just going to put my stuff in storage, which will probably be like 7 or 8 months. But I thought there's just no way I'm packing all this up, unpacking it to stay in a rental, repacking it and unpacking it again. So I think I'll just like stay in Airbnb or something when I come back each month.
Oh, yeah. That's great. Yeah. So what would you build?
I actually have a builder architect friend of mine right now working on a little plan, not like real big, but like a nice kind of cottage style. Like I want to do like the wood beams and stone and all the cute stuff. So I'm waiting to see if it comes back at $1 trillion or something reasonable. Everybody's so unreasonable these days.
Yeah, that's so true. Building is so expensive. You know, some of the best looking cabins I've ever seen are the ones that in Kentucky, they go tear down the barns and just move them and then build with them.
The barn dominiums or whatever kind of?
Well, they're actually just cabins, but they use cabins from Kentucky and they use that wood and they're so pretty.
Oh, yeah, that's cute. Yeah. Yeah, I have a whole Pinterest thing going on, so we'll see. I've been working on all of it in all my
There's a cool place. I don't know if he's franchised it yet. He was trying to get me to buy one where you can actually put your floor plan on a big warehouse floor.
Yes, I've seen those.
And you can walk through it. I'm so glad we did that because
did you do that from the Montana house?
Yes. And so you can move a wall. I mean, I would recommend, it's only like $2,000. I would recommend everybody do it. If you've got a floor plan, do that first.
Yes, I have heard that. There is one here in Lexington, and I've heard people say great things about it because it is kind of hard, even like us. I mean, we do this every day and we're in the business, but still, like when you've never been in the floor plan before.
Yeah. Well, what will be hard for you is the same thing that was hard for me. You're so busy that you'll miss stuff because you don't have time to totally think it through and look at it and decide what you'd want to do. So every mistake we've made is because I didn't even really pay attention to what decision that was going to mean. So I think that's going to be your issue too, is you're so busy doing so many things that there'll be a decision you make and you just make it too quick without being able to put a lot of thought into it.
And knowing too that like you want to hurry and get in there, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that, I mean, I'm like, gosh, I don't want to be not in something for a year. So
true.
Yes, but you look like you're having fun at the beach.
I am having fun at the beach. Yes.
So pretty. Yes. Have y'all had good weather?
We've had really good weather. It's still, June gloom in San Diego. It's June gloom right now.
Okay.
So it'll be gloomy till usually about 11 or 12 every day. Some days all day long, which is not great. But I mean, we were out in the sun yesterday and it was hazy all day and we still got sun.
Oh yeah. You can get a lot of sun on those days.
Yeah. So,
awesome.
All right. We're going to do 2 more principles today from the Legacy Letters. This is such a good book.
It is such a good book. And honestly, these have just been so great. Like such just good reminders and then also new stuff too. Today we're going to do the WHO principle, which will be a good one. We've talked about a lot. And then the authenticity principle. So we'll start with the WHO principle. And I'm sure every one of our listeners has heard, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Yeah. And I love how he talks about your life rises or falls on the quality of your relationships, and who you know determines what you know. And I know we kind of call this the power of proximity, but very, very similar thing of the WHO principle.
Yeah, well, I was thinking through this as I was reading it. I mean, I think WHOs have probably been one of the most secret weapons of my life, period.
Yeah,
I mean,
same. Yeah.
And I don't think any, and if I have any regrets in the past about relationships, it's not understanding the importance and just like moving through real estate transactions so fast, I didn't bother to get to really know the people and see that maybe there's some opportunity to help them get what they wanted other than selling their house, and me to get what I was trying to accomplish too. Like I take that, I say really one builder, we wound up, well, two builders, one wound up being our partner in our first real estate investment. So that was a major who, and because we were $600,000 in debt, we couldn't have done it without him. And then the second builder, we wound up owning some commercial buildings with. He built them and we partnered with him. And I'm just thinking, so many times I was just rushing through the transaction and doing so many transactions that I really didn't go deep on probably some pretty amazing relationships that I could have had,
Yeah, I agree with that. And he kind of touches on that in here when he says he can point to several turning points in his life, not where something happened, but where someone happened. A mentor showed up, a friend stuck around, a teammate believed in me, a leader opened a door. The who's made all the difference in my life. And when I read that, I thought, gosh, it's just spot on. And I was thinking, he quotes Jim Collins in here, The Good to Great, on the second page. But he said, first who, then what? In other words, get the right people on the bus before you decide where you're headed. And I actually made a little note. I can think of times where I've done that and things have worked out so good, like the Richmond office. And then I can think of other times where I haven't done that and we haven't had the right who's, and it's taken years, literally, to get to a good place. And it really, it's like it's the who luck, as they say, that really makes the difference.
Well, and I think on the who luck, you can actually make your own luck, because you can pinpoint certain people that you like the style that they have, and you like the way they've structured their life, and how they've not burnt the main relationships to get to their success. But I think even, Dana, the wrong who's in my life have been so impactful, because they taught me to be more careful about who I went into relationship with and how important the right relationships were. Because I think some of my deepest lessons have been the wrong who's, when I wasn't really aware, or maybe I assumed that they had the same values as me, the same integrity. And so I went into business with them without really, taking into consideration, do I really know who they are? And then I think the other thing on who's is their personal life is always autobiographical of their business. If it's not right away, it will be eventually. And I think I had to learn that the hard way.
You mean, said in other words, if they have something going on in their personal life that's not good, it's going to seep out into the professional part at some point.
Wherever integrity is everywhere. I mean, what they do one way, they'll do other ways too. So just not realizing to look for that. Maybe looking at a characteristic that they had, like charisma or fun or energy or whatever, and then I just kind of omitted the most important pieces. I just overlooked that they didn't have them. Those ones are hard to work through. I like, he has you do like a little exercise he calls names on your heart in here. And he said, who are the people whose names are written on your heart? Who are the ones who called greatness out of you? And then just as important, whose heart is your name written on? Who are you pouring into? He says the who principle isn't just about mentors. It's also about mentees, because relationships are reciprocal. And it made me think about that. I really pondered on that and thought about that a lot, because it made me think of what John Maxwell has always said. Like, relationships are great when they're, when it's a give and take, but like when a relationship becomes lopsided, then you start to see things differently or view the relationship differently or whatever. And then I just thought about that in this part, because I thought, I don't know, I never want to be somebody who always takes, but then isn't giving back something else too. Yeah, so true. Yeah, because I think so many times, our time is our most valuable asset. And so sometimes it's easy just to rush through something or not take the time, but maybe to realize that either way, like I can think of times in my life where my life got better on someone who needed my time as much as I needed somebody else's time.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Well, he says great relationships stretch you without making you feel like you don't belong. They make you want to be better without demanding that you have it all together. They shape your values, vision, and even your vocabulary. And wrote next to that, so true, because you do really, like, you get what they have too. I don't know how to say it, but like, their values rub off, or their vision rubs off, or even we were just talking about momentum on a Zoom this morning. We've talked about that on the podcast before, but even when you're low on momentum and somebody else has a lot of momentum, like just going and being around them and borrowing theirs, then it's like, okay, that relationship is really important at that time because you can borrow their momentum.
Yeah. And, I was thinking about, who are the people that if I have some kind of success that are the first people I want to reach out to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they will be happy for your success.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few. I mean, there's only a few of those that you can even think of in your life. And
Yep.
And you genuinely know that they will be excited for you.
Yeah, so true. There's a couple questions that he has in here, and I just think they're so good for our listeners to ponder on. Regarding the power of proximity, what relationship do you need to initiate? What friendship needs to be nurtured? Is there a relationship you need to redefine or maybe even release? And then what qualities are you lacking that new relationships could help you cultivate? And he goes on to say that a study by Carnegie Foundation found that 85% of success in business was attributed to interpersonal skills, not technical knowledge, meaning the people that they worked with, right? Like he said, people who get along well work well together. And that's just wild to me that 85% of the success was all about the people working together, not necessarily like the knowledge that they had.
Yeah, so true. I think about that story. Remember the guy we had, the Chris Walton that we had on here? Because I think sometimes we think people are out of reach for a relationship with us.
Chris Welton with the Nikes.
Welton, yes. I love his One Jordan story, and I tell it all the time. Because he went for people that most people would have felt like were way out of their reach.
The untouchables is what he said.
Untouchables, yeah.
Yeah, he totally did. I also loved in here, Linda, when he just said like doing a who audit on a regular basis. He said like that's being intentional. And he completes a who audit once a year. I take time to review the relationships in my life, and I make lists to answer these questions. Who's adding life to me? Who am I adding life to? Who do I need to get closer to? And who do I need to release? And I made some notes like in the book when I was reading through those questions. And that is such a great exercise. And then he said, the final question is ask yourself, who should be part of my future that isn't yet in my present? And, we're always like looking for people and looking for talent and talking about 1%ers. And it just really makes you think about it.
Yeah, so true.
Oh, and I like this part too. The next level relationships pull you out of your comfort zone and help you grow.
Yeah, he said if you want to grow, you need to build a circle that challenges your thinking. And I think too, we've always heard the story of and I find a lot of times agents want to do this. They want to be the smartest fish in the pond or the biggest fish in the pond. And the truth is you should always go try to find places that you are looking up to all those people that are in the room or around you.
Yep. Yes, totally. He had a lot of good questions. Now I forgot about this in here too. He even gave additional questions to go deeper on the audit. Who consistently brings energy, wisdom, or clarity into my life? Who drains my energy or brings confusion? Who am I mentoring intentionally? Who challenges me to grow in my character, not just my competency? And then who makes me a better version of myself? And actually, I made a note, Linda, and you could do the same on this one. Who am I mentoring intentionally? I think our first thought is to come to business, but then I actually wrote down Amelia and like some of her friends. And I mean, Ellie for you, and the girls, like sometimes we don't even realize it with the people closest to us too. Like I'm quick to go to the business side and forget about even the personal relationships and friendships.
Yeah, for sure. I think about too, how many times somebody that I have seen qualities in that I offer to say, hey, let's spend time together. Let's meet once a month. Let's talk about these issues, and how those relationships developed into even bigger relationships with me never knowing or intending that was going to happen.
Yeah, that's so good. It's so good. Yeah, this was a really good one. I mean, I had highlighted a lot. It's just good exercise, just a good audit, just a good exercise to do an audit. Um, because he said you need people who are different from you to help you become better. And then, and then I liked when he said, he was talking about Benjamin Franklin at some point, and he said he didn't wait for the right people to show up. He gathered them, created the environment where iron could sharpen iron. And that's like when you're a part of an environment like that, it just feels so good.
Yeah. Diana used to do a thing that was always kind of cool is she would put a group of us together and then we would go get people that on our own wouldn't be able to pay enough money to spend quality time with them. And you know what I mean? And but between all of us, we could afford to do it. We weren't a big corporation.
So smart.
And then I think about also Russell Brunson talking about early on when he didn't have any money and he went to all of his friends and said, "Hey, I'll go to this guy's course." I can't remember who the guy was, but he was one of the great original internet people. And he said, "Hey, if you guys will each pay me this much money, I'll sign up for the course and I'll bring back all the notes." And so that's how he afforded to get in rooms that he couldn't afford to get into, which I think is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's figuring out a way.
Yeah.
I love it. And, so good.
And I always say, there's 3 really important relationships.
Yeah.
Who's your master? Because you didn't create yourself. Who's your mate? Because you're going to spend a lot of time with them. And then who do you determine wealth for? Because, and where will your life get to after that? In other words, because I remember so many years not paying attention to whose life I was funding and who I was determining wealth for, until one day I woke up and realized, gosh, so many people follow this one guy and their lives never get any better. His does.
Yeah.
And so then I realized that, man, it's a decision, especially in the real estate business, that we don't spend enough time thinking about.
Yeah.
If I spend majority of my life funding this agenda and this person, what's the potential I can get out of my life because of it? It was an eye-opening moment for me.
Yeah, I'll never forget when you told me that, and I was kind of in that situation, and I was like, whoa, hold on a minute. That person, his life is getting bigger, but nobody else's is.
Yeah.
And it is. It's like, okay, well, wait a minute. This doesn't feel right. Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even not getting better. It's dead bodies around them. Like
Yes.
I would go back to this event every year, and the same people that had been following him and then been helping him, they were just gone. Something's not right. Something's not right when people keep disappearing.
Yeah. That's a big one for sure. Well, that was a good one. The Who Prince. Do you have anything else on that?
Nope, that's it. We know how important who's are.
Yes. So the next one was the authenticity principle. And this is something he totally got this from John Maxwell. We've heard him say it a gazillion times. Those who know you best should love you the most. True success is having those who know you best love you the most. And he said, if the people that know us best don't love and respect us most, then what have we really achieved?
Oh, God, that one is painful.
I know. It's hard. That's a hard one.
Yeah. And I think about in the real estate business, several times, like I've been with someone's child that I didn't know the parent. But when they find out that I'm in real estate, they'll go, "Oh, yeah, my mom's in real estate." And this one girl really stuck out to me. And she said, "Yeah, I mean, my sister and I, we know that what she does is really important. And like, we'll be talking to her and she'll just take a phone call." And I'm like, oh, dagger to the heart, And I thought, that mother has no idea what she's teaching those children, that whatever's on the other end of that phone line is so much more important than their being in front of her. And it just, and she would keep making excuses for her mom. She'd say, but I know she has to take that call and talk to those people, but it just sometimes makes me and my sister feel like we're not very important. And I'm like, oh, that one kills a realtor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It's totally hard. I mean, I like when he said something at the end of that. He said, because those people know the real you, and when they hear the real you speak or see you lead, they don't see a version of you. They see the same person they know at home, as opposed to like a different, that makes me just think of like that performer mentality.
Yeah. I remember a part in Fierce Conversations where the lady woke up at middle age with a middle age crisis. She said, because it depended on who was in front of me, I would have my pastor persona on, or I would have my, and she had all these personas, and she said I would just put it on depending on who was in front of me. And she said I woke up in midlife with a midlife crisis and not even knowing who I really was. And I think about that when we went through the section of authenticity.
I mean, authenticity is like one of my top 5 values, hands down, for sure. I don't know. I just don't work with people that aren't authentic. And so this one really resonated with me because he said, you can't fake authenticity. When there's no gap, that's when they see who you are, and trust flourishes. Like, you can really trust people. He said, when your family sees you on a platform and thinks that's exactly who he or she is at home, that's integrity and that's real success. And I could not help but think, I was just like thinking and praying so hard when I led Inspirational Morning at Family Reunion this year. And, Amelia was there, and I just was like praying so hard that I hope that she was like, well, that's exactly who she is at home as who she is on stage in front of 13,000 people, or whatever. Because if not, I think it would just crush me if she didn't feel that way.
Yeah, so true. And, I think about the line that says, when people show you who they are, believe them. Because I think, and they always say it's who you are when no one's watching, all of those little clues that happen, which we all have a moment that we think, oh, that would be embarrassing, but the truth is, overall, do you show up as the same person over and over? He says consistency. Are you predictable and dependable over time? That's when I thought of, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Yes.
Because if dependability is important to you and you see in their life that they're not always dependable, there's nothing that says they're going to turn dependable when they were with you. Clarity. Do people know what you stand for? Communication. Are you honest, open, and humble?
Yeah. I love that so much. And he said something on that same page that, again, we've heard Maxwell say many times. And when you see, great successful people like this, you really, it's, for me at least, it just really, really stands out. He said, be bigger on the inside than you are on the outside. And we could both probably think of people who are bigger on the outside than they are on the inside. And it's just never, I don't know. Those are the people that I just usually run from, not want to be around.
Yeah. Don't you think, though, like, authenticity has gotten, I feel like there was an era of fakeness and, all the things that weren't these things. And now I feel like it's like a full swing back to people crave authenticity. And I think that's because there's so much, covering up who they really are, trying to be something on social medias that they want the world to see, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think it's a lot of the social stuff. And then, quite frankly, right now, I think it's just a lot of AI, which, I love AI. I use it every single day, but it's also making people question, like, is this real? Is it not real? Did they really write this, or did they have their ChatGPT write it? And so, like, I think that's having people crave authenticity so much more, because they really want to know that that's them and that's you. And even yesterday on the Masterminds with Gary Keller, he said, trust and connection are the 2 biggest words for clients, for realtors, for everybody right now. If they don't have trust and there's not connection, then they're on to the other person who they can have it with.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think too, if you think about it, I can't remember what class it was in, but we did an exercise of writing your eulogy.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Long time ago. I think in Quantum Leap, we used to have to do that.
Yes.
And I think, man, if you started with what would you want people to say at that moment, and then you traced it back to what am I doing today that would cause that, or would it not even be close? That's a great way to kind of do some introspective on what you want the end to look like. And I remember going to quite a few funerals, and I remember thinking, man, now that's a life well lived. How do I do that?
Yeah, so true. Yes. Yeah. He talks about being admired up close. And I thought this part was really good. A Harvard study that followed participants for more than 75 years found that the single biggest predictor of happiness and health wasn't wealth, fame, or productivity. It was the quality of their relationships, which you hear that. Like, I watched that Centennial show or whatever it was, where the people who lived to be over 100 years old, and it's community for all of them. All of them say it's community, and they eat those purple sweet potatoes. But but other than that, it's like it is the community and the relationships. He said the people who were the most satisfied with their relationships at age 50 were the healthiest at age 80. Strong relationships are built on trust or authenticity, trust, and respect. And so he goes through like a little application of those three. Authenticity, be the same person in every room. He said people don't want a polished version of you. They want the real you. Authenticity builds credibility, and credibility builds trust. And then respect is number 2. Treat your inner circle like they matter the most. Authentic relationships must start at home. You can't call yourself authentic if the people closest to you feel neglected or invisible. And this was a good reminder on here too. He said, who's getting your best energy? Like, are you publicly honoring your spouse, your kids, your assistant, those who support you behind the scenes? I love that. Maxwell does such a good job of that. He always has. And then the third one was legacy. Just build a life that they admire up close. A great resume might get you applause, but a great eulogy, there you go. That's what you're talking about. That gets you tears, and not because you're gone, but because you actually mattered.
Yeah, so true. He says, don't spend your energy trying to impress everyone. That's a moving target and an exhausting one. Instead, invest in the respect of those who share your table, your time, and your everyday life. If they recognize you and feel proud of the way you live, you're on the right path.
So good.
Gosh, this is a really good one too. I think, especially now with social media and different things like that, it's easy to kind of think you've got to put on a show or be someone different.
Yeah.
But like you and I've said, even the people we really highly respect online or podcast or whatever, we feel like they're the most authentic.
Totally. Yeah. They're real. They're authentic. And you do feel like you can trust them because of that.
Yeah. So true. These 2 very good ones.
Yes. Very good. Very, very good. These have just been the best ever. Again, if you've missed it and you haven't been listening, it's from the book Legacy Letters by Chris Hodges. And they are just timeless principles that he's lived, and that he's leaving behind for his kids and grandkids, and highly recommend checking them out.
Yep, very good. You reading anything else right now, Dana? What else are you reading?
Actually, yes. I just pulled 2 new ones. Hold on, and I'll tell you. I'm already forgetting what they are. One of them is Launch. Have you been following that girl, Jessie, on Instagram? Linda, you gotta watch. I can't believe I haven't told you this. Hold on. Okay. She, hold the phone. Jessie Jean, Jessi Jean Home. Jessie Jean Home is her Instagram. And she started doing a challenge, like, I don't know, several years ago, where she was, building up her social media. And she started talking about how to yap online, like just get on your social media or your YouTube or your Facebook or whatever and talk to like your audience. Just, she calls it like yapping, because that's what people want, again, to see you're authentic and real and all that stuff. So she had been trying to work on this challenge, and she'd had several, and so she started a new one called the Yap Challenge, and she'd been putting it out on social media. Well, the first one, she ran it just like your challenge, Graham's challenge, just like everybody's challenges. She ran it the beginning of June, and she charged $297. And the first, within the first 24 hours, I think, she had 1.3 million in revenue come in overnight. She woke up and she's like crying, and her mom's crying, and her husband's crying, and her dad, and everybody's like, what in the world? Like, it hit on the internet.
Yeah.
And so she ran the Yap Challenge, and all these people, she's so cute and authentic. All these people have been posting saying that $297 challenge, like, completely changed their game on Instagram. They've grown followers, their audience is bigger, their communities have grown, all this stuff. So everyone was like, when are you coming out with the next challenge? When are you coming out with the next challenge? So she just released it this week, and the next challenge starts on July 1st. So she was saying, like, a save the date. It dropped on maybe Wednesday this week, Tuesday, Wednesday. I can't remember. Again, the second challenge for $297. Linda, 8,000 people signed up. She cleared 2.3 million in like
Good Lord.
less than 12 hours. I think
Good
she said.
Lord.
She tells the whole story. It's like she's going through it live on her Instagram. You got to go watch. Yeah. And so I signed up for it, of course, because for one, I just wanted to see kind of what the process was. I mean, because I thought, Lord, I'm doing something wrong if she's making $2.3 million in 12 hours from her challenge. But two, people are just saying that it's working. Like what they're the ones that went through her challenge. I have an agent who did it the first time, Sam, and she was like, I loved it. I got so much out of it. And she said that on her first one, she posted like this. She was yapping on camera, and then she did a second one. And anyway, she ended up getting 3 buyers out of it from her social media, brand new buyers that are now in contract.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
So all that to be said, she said that she credited it all to a book that she had read years and years ago called Launch.
Okay.
And it's by Jeff Walker, Launch.
Oh, I love Jeff Walker. Yeah. I think I've even read that years ago.
Okay, yeah. He just came out with an updated and expanded version in June of Launch. How to sell almost anything online, build a business you love, and live the life of your dreams. So I just got that from Amazon yesterday. I'm going to read that while I'm at the lake next week.
To add on to this, Dana, I just listened to Gary Vee on something, and he was a guest on somebody's podcast that I listened to, but he said that there's 2 things that are coming down the pipeline that are going to be more important because of the way everything's going. One is going to be live stuff.
No.
And then number 2 is in person. He said analog. People are going to want to be in person. So that even for like realtors, you could do more events, you could do more get-togethers.
I'm so glad to hear you say that, because I've been telling my agents since my top 20% agents since January, seminars are back. People want the quickest way to build trust is face-to-face in person, and your way of getting on a stage is holding a seminar. Yep.
Gary Vee said that, and she just proved it with what you just.
She totally just proved it. Yeah, you got to go. You're going to love her. You got to go watch her. I mean, I just thought that is, and she actually even said. She just posted yesterday and said, I'm sorry, my eyes are bloodshot. I've been up all night because we were trying to work with our tech companies to make sure that when I host this challenge, I can actually have 8,000 people on there without it glitching.
Yes.
Like this is new to me. We do this out of a bedroom in our house.
Wow. That's crazy. Good for her.
I know. That's what I told Adam. I said, it's honestly amazing.
That's good. Okay. I'm getting on it too.
Yeah, I know. You'll have to sign up for the app challenge. And honestly, it was so smart that she did that for $297 because, I mean, there's not very many people that if you're in a growth stage and you're like, who's not going to spend $297 to just get on and figure it out? And you get to keep her material forever anyway.
Well, and the accountability alone, because you probably kind of knew you were supposed to be going live more, but you're not doing it.
That's right.
And the challenge will be accountability. You got your money up and I always say, when I pay attention, and she's going to pay attention because we're all paying her. I mean, there's so many good things in that.
Well, she talks about that. She's like, you guys, I'm up all night, all day because so many of you are believing in me. Like, I just want this to be the best that it's ever been. And I appreciate that. I'm like, yes, I think that's so good because when you're accountable to other people, so you want it to be the best. So yeah, see if you can sign up for it. It starts July 1st. We'll do it together. Yeah, Lord, we'll both be, instead of yapping on the podcast, we'll be yapping on Instagram.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right. Remember, if you have not hit the subscribe button, please go ahead and do that now. And the greatest compliment you can pay us is 1, pass this podcast along to anybody that you think would enjoy our conversations. Number 2, give us a great review so other people who don't know us can find us. And then if you have a challenge, a question, a guest, or an opportunity that you'd like to bring on and talk about on the podcast, be sure and reach out to us at info@everything life and real estate. Dana, I guess I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. See you then.
Be sure to subscribe for more business strategies and tactics to inspire you to live an abundant real estate life. Don't forget to rate and review so we can bring you the best content. Find this and other valuable information at everythinglifeandrealestate.com.